up here. The Public Servants Association says more troubles lie ahead for Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane. Assistant General Manager Ruben Maleka says more staff in her office are willing to speak out about victimization claims. Maleka is in studio to talk to me about this particular situation. Mr. Maleka, thank you very much for your time. How many more people are there? We saw last week that it was the office in the Free State province that spoke out. How many people countrywide would you say?
I would say plus minus 80% of our members are saying that it's time that they must speak out. They must actually find a way to also make submissions. And we said that we already have a senior counsel in place, so that those who are willing to come out with being anonymous, they can engage a senior counsel and they're able to depose affidavits that can be presented as evidence before the Committee of Parliament.
What kind of victimization are we talking about here?
Look, one of it was the issue of when the union members, especially the branch, when they were raising employment issues with the public protector. I can mention one, Ike Matawe, who actually had to resign. We had one member that was actually investigated in terms of the Public Protector Act as an employee, instead of being charged in terms of misconduct in terms of employment acts. That tells you, if you can open a case against one of your employees because of employment relations issues, that shows that you are actually victimizing, you are suppressing them, you are actually abusing your own powers. Because how do you investigate an employee on employment-related issues under the Public Protector Act? So one of our also branch secretary, Teho Gagana, was one of those that were victimized. He was put under surveillance. His laptop was forced to be confiscated by a third party. As an employee, imagine somebody just arrives at your work and say, because we're investigating you, bring your laptop. You say, who are you? I'm an investigator. Does an investigator has that authority just to come and confiscate the laptop of an employee?
Mr. Maleka, are you familiar with the Free State case in particular? Because there does appear to be a counter from the Public Protector's office to say that particular individual had just had a case against him in court, which he was convicted for. Therefore, he was being disciplined in as far or in connection with that particular matter. So it muddies the water, doesn't it, this situation?
Look, the issue of is a member of PSA, and obviously we are consulting with him to get. We are not concerned about politics of saying whether if there's any charge or any disciplinary matters that we have to deal with, we're going to deal with them in terms of the process. But on any allegations that relates to maladministration, inefficiencies, and interfering with the functions of any of the officials by the Public Protector, that's what we are going to collate as an evidence that shows that we are concerned. And remember, Colin, we are not coming with these issues as of now. We have raised these concerns before. Last year, I personally had a meeting with the former CEO Vusi Mahlangu, and I raised these matters with him. I said, as PSA, we want to engage you within the organization. We want to resolve all this kind of conduct that we believe that is a way of suppressing our members or structures within by advocating workers' issues. And when we raised these matters, we were told that we are ready to do anything. You can defend yourself.
Mr. Maleka, I'm out of time, but I've got to put this question to you. Since you are familiar with the Free State case,
yes,
there were very serious allegations leveled against Ms. Mkhwebane, and these relate to her allegedly protecting certain politicians that she is supposed to be investigating. How well acquainted are you with these claims?
Look,
are they true?
Look, at this point in time, we take them as allegations. He's not the only one. Remember, one of our members that already deposed the same affidavit in December made allegations on interference, whereby they will be investigating an individual, but there's a private meeting with that individual. Those are kind of things. He is not the only one. Most of the investigators are complaining to say that we want to be protected by us as our union by PS, because when we do our functions, when you do investigation, you'll find that sometimes instead of you making an objective report, there's interference.
Ruben Maleka, thank you very much for your time.